Right, so just one quick thing before we go on to the trap. I've got to say a really massive thank you to Marcus Brackley for sending me this book, Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I truly, really do appreciate it, Marcus. Thanks a lot, mate. I honestly mean that. This is a brilliant book. I'm about halfway through it now. I've been reading it pretty much all the time since I got it. And I was reading it and I thought to myself, well, if I don't stop reading it for a minute, I'm never going to do any videos. So I stopped for a minute and I did this. I kind of made this prototype trap. So thank you very much for that, Marcus. I truly, truly do appreciate it. Brilliant book so far. I'm about nearly 200 pages in. So thank you for that, Marcus. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, I was reading the book and I thought I'd better do a video. So I kept trying to think of a trap what was different to any kind of trap I've seen, if you know what I mean. So I thought of this idea. Now it's a bit overkill, really. It's a prototype at the minute. It could be made a lot shorter. Sorry. The thickness and everything would be the same, but it could be made shorter. I think it probably could be made to about here. But it needs a fair bit of tweaking first, and considering the size of it, it would probably only kill a mouse. So, how it works is that bar in there could either have bait on it or could be stood on. Release this nail and a bar shoots out and then squashes the animal against this. I thought the idea would be is you would kind of put this where an animal is running, put it in its way, so it would just run through. That's a possibility. You could also probably have something right over the top there to funnel it in. It'd have to be fairly loose because this nail has to rise. So hopefully you can see this. Needs, like I said, needs a fair bit of tweaking, but you'll see the idea of it, hopefully. You see there the bar shoots out and will squash the animal. So, got a small piece there, a nail, what can move there, the bar. Now you notice the bar doesn't go right down, but that is because if you don't have a space, all that happens is this comes down and it basically just gets caught like that, but at the bottom obviously. So what we've got here also is you can open this part and see a spring inside there. Now you don't have to have this opening, it could just be permanently closed, but I wanted it so you could pull it out and replace it with a different spring. And also it's best to have it covered over like that regardless, because if you've got a powerful spring and you're pulling it back, sometimes the spring can shoot out of here. And I actually did it earlier on and it shot out and hit me in the face. Luckily it was a weakish spring, but it was a bit too long, and as it compressed it kind of bent in half and then just flew out. The only thing I would say is, like I said, it could be made shorter. It doesn't have to be this long, it's a bit long. It could definitely be made shorter, but the rest of the dimensions are about right, about the same. But it really needs to have a hole drilled in it. If you made one of these that's fairly powerful, it needs a hole drilled right the way through, all three of them, to put like a safety pin in while you're setting it. Because setting it is a bit dodgy. You have to get your fingers right in there. And at the minute, I would say it's a bit hard to set off, even with this spring in here, which isn't that strong. But the intention would be the animal would come along, either bait on here or stand on it, and then get squashed against the side there. So kind of like a body gripper. I suppose it would be regarded as a body gripper or a body crusher, I suppose. So yeah, prototype. The only other things I would say might be a bit of a downfall is the way this nail rises up could actually just knock the animal flying out the way, because you think if it's there, it's got to travel up and get past that, so it may actually be thrown out of the way by this bar, by the nail. So I might have to think of a different way to do the trigger, but that was the simplest way that I could do it, you know, at the time. A little bit dodgy for setting, but if you think the animal will be here, the nail's the first thing that's probably going to strike it rather than the bar. But you know, something to think about. You know, someone could probably make something like this, slightly change it. It gives some good ideas, because I've never seen one like this where it kind of shoots out. Like I said, a bit of overkill, or a bit big for a mouse, but that's about all this would probably get. It got it there. Well, it's funny enough, everything got trapped in there, look. But you can see what I mean by it's got to have this bit at the bottom opened up. Right, so something you could probably modify or make yourself. You know, this could be a spike on the end, it doesn't have to be just a flat piece of wood. You know, have a nail shoot out. I think that part of the trigger needs to be changed. I may do it. I may see if I can slightly change this, some sort of different trigger what wouldn't get in the way. Maybe put a spike on the end or something. Not a massive one, but just a small one. And then might make it slightly better. Anyway, that's a weird prototype overkill mousetrap. Cheers again to Marcus for this. I'll carry on reading that tonight after I've edited this video. And thanks to everyone else who always watches, and especially all the ones who always comment as well. I truly do appreciate that. Right, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.